Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome back to another episode of Voice of Youth. Today we are joined by two very special guests, the bros from Brisbane, the butchers of Bogon, the Himmats. We have Big Himmat and Little Himmat. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
I hope you don't mind me referring to you like that, because at least in my household and a few households, around me in like Victoria and whatnot, we refer to you guys as the Big Himmat and Little Himmat.
I love your little introduction. Even it's funny when I go to Little Himmat's house, because he's actually I'm his mama in our family, right? So when I go to his house, only when I'm there, his mum will be like, "Okay, Big Himmat, Little Himmat, Mokum." That's how she refers to all of us. Only when I'm there.
Bro, it sticks, man. Everyone uses that.
You're not the only one that refers to us as Big Himmat, Little Himmat.
I love it. It must be so weird though, just hearing that, like, being called Little Himmat. Oh man.
Yeah, I remember one time. Remember Himmat? I already had Facebook. This was a long time ago. And he had made his account. I tried to persuade him to change his name to Little Himmat Singh.
Oh, bro, I remember that. It's so embarrassing. All my friends asked me, why have you got Little Himmat? And you won't understand.
He changed it, didn't he? He changed it back.
Yeah, I did.
I would have loved to see that.
I'm not happy.
But anyway, I'm so glad to have you two on the show today. You guys obviously up in Queensland. I'm down in Victoria. Just wanted to see how you guys have been, with living like a COVID normal life with everything going on. So I will be referring to you as Big and Little Himmat, just so when I want to like try to get a response from someone, I can just easily say that. So Big, you want to start off?
Big Himmat, yeah, man. COVID's hasn't been too bad for me personally. It's been I'm a student, so all my studies and stuff are online. I've got a nice desk and a big huge screen, so it hasn't really been a hindrance on what my goals and that kind of stuff. I guess the only thing is I didn't realize how long I was stuck in my house for. Like, I don't really normally I try to get out the house every day, right? I'm lucky enough to be close to the beach here, so I will go. Even there was a time when there was restrictions, but I'll still go there and just look at the sunset or something. But I realize that I don't really. I normally travel within Australia at least once every 6 months, and it kind of hit me. I haven't been anywhere since February, and I've just been within 30, 40 kilometers of Brisbane, and it kind of like, whoa, that was a bit odd. But other than that, yeah, it's been pretty chill, not too bad.
That's pretty sweet. How about you, Little Himmat?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat. I'm still studying as well. Yeah, it's just been a long blur. 2020. It's been doing nothing really. I mean, we're trying to study. So the thing is, study kind of stays the same because it's not like work. It's switched off. We still have assignments in uni. It's just the whole fact of not going to classes and everything. So it's a lot of lack of interpersonal communication and whatnot. So it's quiet. Yeah. I'd like to get out of the house a bit more. Sorry?
Are you doing teaching?
Yeah, you're doing teaching as well, eh?
I used to do teaching. I took a deferred for a year, but how is that teaching, studying teaching now?
Yeah, no, I'm enjoying teaching. Teaching's good. It's something I'm very passionate about. It's just it's good. It's just this whole year has been a whole different dynamic for university. So just trying to get our heads around that really, So yeah, it's good.
All right, so one of the big things that's going on, because you guys have opened up a little more, I don't know what the exact, restrictions or whatever you guys have going on right there in Brisbane are right now, but you've been able to return to having weekly programs, having a Brisbane Smagam, and that's what we want to talk about today. So for any of the viewers that, tuned in the previous episode, we talked about a Smagam happening in Melbourne, like what that feeling would be like if we got to have one. I wanted to hear from you two what the feeling was like when you finally got to have another Kirtan program after months of having online Kirtan, seeing it through a screen just doesn't hit as well. Like you gotta feel the tabla, feel the kartala, feel that vibe coming from a Kirtan program. Little Himmat, why don't you tell me what that feeling was like going back to one?
So I remember, quarantine hit us, around that March, February time. And obviously, we're very, our Sangat's very close network. So we're very into, very connected with our Kirtan programs every week. It's kind of like a mandatory thing that we have to have. We like seeing our local sing, so we're so used to that in our daily routine. And when it was cut for so long, it was obviously devastating. But I remember that very first program I had an Amrit Wala program, Swere, Hana, and Asidivar, Hana, Ustabar Kesiga. We did that and was at one of our local sing's house. I can't even, you can't begin to explain the feeling. It's just, finally, getting into your bana, Tani Damalla, going into Sangat, singing those same bani that you read so while ago. And it's just, it was just an amazing feeling. It's like something you can't really live without, that you've been forced to be without,
Yeah.
And it's just like, I cannot, that feeling, that first program, we were just so uplifted and so happy just to be there. It was just like we've been missing this. It felt like lifetimes had just just gone away without our sangat as well. And I know you can do kirtan and sangat in your homes, but that whole style of ek dun milna, kisi to hor kar jana rakhna program, it's something else. So it was just amazing. It really was.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So then, were both of you at the first return program?
I can't recall if Himmat was there or not. I think I'm not sure. Do you know?
Okay.
Were you there?
Yeah, I was there.
Wait, you were?
So-
Okay.
I was there. You're talking about the Smagam itself. So when our Kirtan programs obviously stopped when the Corona everything hit. So everything was just banned from March up until mid-July. And then mid-July, that's when our weekly program started happening. So we could have up to, I think it was 100 people at that time.
Oh, wow.
And then we had Kirtan programs, our weekly ones, they started up again. And I remember even thinking at the time, the first one happened. So I don't know, inna chahasi, right? They were so excited. And I remember even sitting in Kirtan, everyone was like, "Nal bol this again, nal," as you said, Kartal na shene, everything. You could hear everything, right? And I remember Himmat just said before, like, I realized before, because I was never leaving the house, I would tie my 2-meter keski. I was wearing my 2-meter keski for 2-3 months. I never had tied them. I never needed to tie the mala. I think I tied it once. Let's just do some dress up and tie the mala. I miss those days tying the mala, but I tied one. But then when this Kirtan started, I'm like, okay, I can wear my jola now, I can wear my barnas. That was really fun part of it too. But I remember thinking, okay, I wonder how long this star and excitement and these Kirtan programs, when I say Kirtan programs were like booming, everyone was singing, the Kirtan was really good, and I'm like, okay, chalo, maybe 1 week, 2 weeks, my third week, right? I'm like, oh, maybe it might die down. No, it didn't. Third, fourth, fifth weekend, it was still like the first week. So I don't know, board chassis. And at that point, there was talks of, let's have a smagam. So I think within about 2-3 weeks, we're like, chalo, there's a few, a Monday, a long weekend coming. So that we planned a smagam for those. And then that's what Himmat was talking about, that first Amrit program we had at the Brisbane smagam.
Yeah, you guys sent me through a few pictures of the Brisbane Smagams, so I'll just load that up.
Yeah,
We can scroll through some of these as well. So we got Big Himmat there. So you guys had a projector going, you had Guru Granth Sahib, obviously. So was this just at some one of the Singh's local houses, yeah?
Yeah. This was a local Singh's house. This was, I think, the second day, the second day of the smagam. The first
program
Sanji.
Yeah, दूजी दिन रात ਨੂੰ program ਸੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਦੂਜੇ ਦਿਨ ਸੀ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਦਿਨ I think was at my house in the morning. We had an evening program as the first one of the program of the smagam, sorry, and that was at my house. And then there was a morning program. This was the second day at ਇੱਥੇ ਭਾਈ ਸਤਿੰਦਰਪਾਲ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਘਰੇ. You can, I don't know if you can tell, but I can feel the energy. You can see everyone there, like everyone's very close knit.
No, I can imagine it. I can really imagine that. Oh, so how many before? Like, was this like an average samagam, or were there? Because you said 100 people, I think you said, could come. Or like, obviously, like you guys aren't like wearing like protective gear or anything, so it's not like everyone's in hazmat suits or something, staying one foot apart. What was the whole process like? I don't know if either of you two are like deeply involved in like the whole setting up, but maybe just something might have happened there. Like,
There was a discussion about that whole thing, and obviously we had to make sure we didn't want to break any laws, obviously, but we still wanted to do Kirtan. So there was 100 people restriction, so we made sure that we had a peradar, and we also made a separate group where we would talk, we would send a message to people that they're regular on this again. But we and then obviously look, whenever you enter the diwan hall, you wash your hands, wash your feet. So we had all those kind of precautions there as well. But we did keep an eye on the numbers. We didn't want to go over the 100.
Yeah, because the last thing you want to do is just, without knowing, go over by accident, and then it just causes a ripple effect, and then everything gets shut down, and it all goes down like that. So I know did the two of you do Kirtan as well?
Yeah.
How was the feeling when you finally go back to do Kirtan?
Oh, yeah, that's it. In Sangat, it's obviously, the atmosphere is so much more different, Hannah. I mean, doing it at home, you can either, do Kirtan and, sit down and concentrate, or you can take out Shabad, you can practice it different. When you're in Sangat, it's like you're being supported by all these different Gursikhs as well, Hannah. It's a whole different, because when you're singing, you're depending on your own voice and your own energy. Then when you sit in Sangat, you have all of these other Gursikhs as well who have this cha, to apane kathe gona, kathe japana, that they've come here to also get that same la as well, and we can't explain the kirpa that happens in Sangat, because Guru Sahib hamesha hi kirpa deni Sangat vich. But it was different. You could just, because like Himmat Singh was saying as well earlier, that we all had a cha after so long, Before I was talking about a while back before Smagam, but he was right, the Smagam, that was different. When we sat in there, it's like everyone was just like, we have a Smagam now. We finally have this Smagam back. We have this opportunity, So it was just like everybody was just ready to, give it our all, give it our, best energy, our best efforts. Yeah, it was just.
So then, were you like? Sorry.
No, so the whole Smagam, bahut chandi love it.
Yeah. So then, were the two of you like practicing like Kirtan, knowing that the Smagam was coming, and like, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna be like, go all out. I'm gonna, choose a shabad which I like vibe with most. Like, not like there's any, hierarchy on the shabads, but the one you vibe with most, the one you want to get that chais are going on with the whole sangat and everything. Is that what you guys?
I don't know. Like, chalo, I guess we're quite blessed. Himmat and I, that chalo mada mota shabad pad lenne aa ghare vi hana, we've been in these kirtans and this kind of kirtan lifestyle. We're kind of brought up into this kind of weekly kirtan lifestyle kind of thing, right? So with that, obviously, we would actually get together, just us, like me and Himmat and his older brother, would get together and just do some kirtan at their house. And throughout the COVID period, obviously, there was not too many of us, so we did that too. And I think that's a really important thing. I've spoken to some other people about it, because jede kirtan jinanu raga saja da gyan nahi hai na sangeet da, for them kirtan is a bit different, because they only experience kirtan when they go to a kirtan program. But jinanu hidat miliya to do kirtan, sangeet and that kind of stuff, they can do it when they're at home by themselves even, right? Even without saj, you can sing a shabad, obviously, but जिस तरह गुरु साहब even I think Bhai Gurdas ji वारां च कहंदे ने घर घर अंदर धर्मसाल होवे कीर्तन सदा विसोआ. When you have that dharamsala at home and you're always doing kirtan, you can have like Vaisakhi celebrations always at home as well. So I guess in preparation, we had that at home. But as Himmat said, when you bring that into Sangat Kirtan Mandala che gal ban diya, Sangat che gal ban diya, you can't even explain that. Obviously, jede Sangat che onde you only, and when you put yourself, you gotta really embrace that moment. That charm, excitement. There's no, I guess there's preparation in the sense that you're preparing to go, you're dressing up and going, and but I guess once if you over prepare, it becomes a bit of a performance. That's
true,
we
yeah.
can't do too much, but it's
So
always living in the moment kind of thing.
were there also, because was it just Kirtan that you guys did? Like obviously, like there was a Hukamnama and Smafti and everything going on Amrit Vela. So was there also, did you guys in the morning do part together or any sort of kids activities, like a substitute for a kids camp or anything of the sort?
There was they were talking about a kids camp, like but I don't know, but there wasn't that many kids. We had prepared. If there were kids there, then we would do a camp, but we didn't really need to. But there was Amrit Vela, Nitnem Kathe, Saran Jita Hunda Smagam normal.
Yeah.
You know, you get from Amrit Vela, you do your Simran Abhyas, then you Nitnem together, then straight into Asrivar. So there was other than Kirtan, there was that.
All right. Well, that's still really
One day. है ना हिम्मत इकट्ठे होकर वॉलीबॉल खेलते थे अपन
ये एक दिन ਆਪਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਚਲੋ ਆਪਾਂ ਵਾਲੀਬਾਲ ਖੇਡੀਏ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਸਾਰੇ that was good.
Even getting the leisurely activities in there as well. Wow.
You know how you're at a smagam and then you plan to sleep in the day because you need to get rest, right? But then you get up at 3 a.m. on the first day, and then all the way to the end of Asriwa, which is like 10, 11, and then you sleep, but you don't. And then you just go out. A normal smagams, you might come for the city or something. We just started playing volleyball until like 3 p.m. Then we had to get ready for the Diwan. So we were the same, that feeling you get, that fatigue you get at smagams, that fatigue kicked in. I was
Wow, that's so cool. So for the Smagam itself, was it also recorded, streamed, or anything online?
Yeah, we did. We had a live recording as well. So how we did it was obviously because of COVID and everything, Hannah. So we were deciding whether to do video broadcast or just audio. So we just stuck to audio, Hannah. We put the broadcast onto the Shabbat, Hannah. And so that was our live feed. I think we did that through Facebook, Hannah. And so that was good. But yeah, we had a Singh who also did he took photos. He's our like local camera Singh in Brisbane as well. No, I think those are the photos I sent you as well from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those ones he took. He did photos for us as well, and he has done a full recording of we had a dance by as well, which we're very lucky to have as well. So it was like a mini dance by in the last night, as per usual. So he recorded most of that as well, which is yeah, that's good. So that should be released soon, hopefully. But
all right.
So yeah, so that's
well, special shout out to that photographer guy from the local.
Harminder Singh, yeah.
Harminder Singh?
Harminder Singh, yeah, he's good. Yeah.
Special shout out to him. Yeah. So that's great because you guys, also shared it with the community as well and everything. So is there like a plan? Because obviously there's no like little chance that you're going to be able to go do smagams interstate. Like some of the borders are opening, but some of them aren't. Are you guys planning or thinking of doing another Brisbane smagam, even though, normally it's one a year and everything, but then is there a plan or idea to do something of a similar nature?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Once that smagam finished, like, because we were still, trying to suss out, COVID numbers and everything, and how can we work around this and restrictions and whatnot, It's solely based on the restrictions, and luckily, obviously, in Brisbane, we're a bit more better off. I know you guys in Melbourne, having quite hard down there, with more restrictions put on.
Yeah, a few ease today, but yeah.
But, so yeah, once we just wanted to get to this first smagam, see how it goes, like if it's all safe and whatnot. It worked out really well. Now we're just planning, more weekly programs.
Sorry, are the gurdwaras open? Because you've done these programs at houses. Are any of the gurdwara open for even a small sangat or anything?
Yeah, so like we have, about 2-3 gurdwaras spread out amongst the Brisbane area. They are open. Pelliant, they had the normal, you can only do matha take and have to keep 1.5 distance. I think some of them are now starting to open. Another Gold Coast one has opened. We had a Ratam Diwan there on Saturday as well. So apane sare Singh se kirtan kitta siga na Saturday raat. That was a program. We did live in that as well. But so yeah, so I think they're slowly opening up.
Slowly opening up. Well, this is great. I think that's a good way to end on the positive note that you guys are hoping to do more coming in the near future. Gurdwara are slowly opening up, and we've talked a good deal about the Brisbane smagams, the feeling you've had, how they've ended up. We've looked at some of the photos. So I'd just like to thank the both of you for coming on to the show today, recording this episode for Voice of Youth. To any of our viewers, if you experienced the Samagam, please let us know how you felt when you were there. You know, what was the experience? If you did Kirtan, if you were just, you know, smashing the kartale out or banging on that tabla, let us know. And, you know, leave a like, comment, and share this episode with all your friends and family and the wider community. So to the big thumbs up from the big Himmat there. To the wider, to all the audience out there, to the two Himmats in front of me, thank you very much for watching and partaking in this episode. And Vaigu Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaigu Ji.